If I cannot lead myself, how can I lead company?
And your parents wanted you to become a lawyer or a doctor, but you didn't?
Even I haven't chosen the doctor or lawyer, I'm still semi-lawyer, semi-doctor on everyday basis. I brought my violin.
Hello everybody and welcome to CEO Pitstop, the podcast where we discover people behind the titles. I'm Aušra Bijaminienė, leadership breakthrough mentor, and I love supporting people in living happy and fulfilled professional lives. Today with me I have Ruta Ezerskiene. She is CEO and chairwoman of Citadel Bank. My warmest welcome, Ruta.
Hi, Aušra. Thank you.
Let's start from the very beginning, and usually the beginning is one sentence. So, in one sentence, who are you, Ruta?
I'm a lot, I think. First, I'm a woman, as you said. I'm still a daughter. I'm very happy having my both parents. I am mother of three. I am wife. I am leader of the bank. But I think the most important, I am leader of myself.
Wow, leader of yourself. What is under that?
I think that people usually rely on others, rely on environment, but not on himself or herself. My approach is that if I cannot lead myself, how can I lead others? How can I lead company?
You are touching now a very important topic straight from the very beginning. So let's deep dive into it. Leading yourself, where it starts and how it appeared in your professional path or in your life. Tell me a little bit more about this.
You are very wise and taking everything from the beginning. I think it comes from my childhood. When I was 7 years old, I thought that it would be so nice to play piano. And I haven't told to my parents, but I knew when the exams are in the music school. I went myself.
At the age of 7?
At the age of 7, and told to those teachers. I remember they were sitting similar like us, but there were 6 or 7 of them. And I needed to repeat some different exercises, rhythms, to sing, to dance, different tasks.
And you are alone in this exercise.
And I'm alone in this exercise. Nobody is with me and nobody is waiting outside the room. And they told me that you are doing well, you should play violin. But I said I was brave enough to repeat that, but I want a piano. They convinced me, of course, to play violin, because the piano was a secondary instrument. I needed to play anyway, and I agreed. So it was a compromise. I think it was a good one. I learned from it as well. And after it, I came back home, called to my mother, and just said straightforward, Mom, I passed an exam. I will play violin and piano, and I need those 2 instruments now.
And what was the reaction from your mom?
Of course, she was surprised. We haven't talked about it before. And you know, everything happened from now, it's 40 years back.
You decide yourself and then you inform.
Yes, and then again, inform, but I knew that there is no piano where to buy in Lithuania 40 years ago. About violin, I haven't had a clue at all because I haven't thought about it. I wanted piano. So, of course, from the beginning, I was learning at music school, but still in a few years, I got a piano.
Now your parents and your family, they know how it works, right? You just inform them.
Now it's different, I think. That was my 7 years strategy. Now I use different strategies. I think today it wouldn't work just to inform. Today it's dialogue and It's agreements, it's compromises, it's priorities, it's combination of many things.
Let's stay there a little bit at school. All the other guests before you in the CEO Pitstop were from my professional environment. I was either working with them in some companies, or I was working on some projects, or maybe I met them in some professional associations. But with you, we have a bit different connection. I haven't seen you for many, many years, and we haven't worked together. And we were not even at the same university, but we went to the same school.
Yes.
And our school is very close to this place. We are filming this episode in Birštonas, Vytautas Mineral Spa, and our school is Prienai Žiburys Gymnasium.
Yes, you are right. Yeah, I graduated the same school.
And I read one recent interview with you, and there you say that you were a very good student and your parents wanted you to become a lawyer or a doctor, but you didn't.
Yeah, you see that, my parents had different expectations on me. But at that time, I thought that to be a lawyer, it's maybe too boring or too narrow for me. To be a doctor, I thought I'm too sensitive. Now, maybe I would think differently about what I thought at that time. I don't regret what I have been choosing, but my opinion on lawyers and doctors would be different now. Mm. And then I thought that I was successful in both mathematics, but also in creative tasks, etc. And then I thought that economics, this is the matter where I want to deep dive, because then you can use everything you have. You can go from the bottom to top, you can go from left to the right, you can understand how one event can influence another, you can predict, you can do different things. So that for me was the way how I solved at that time what I would like to.
I was reading this and I was smiling because we went to the same school. You were a very good student, me too. And I don't know if they still have this board with the photos of the students who had the best grades and had some recognition. But there were some photos, and maybe your photo is also there, and mine is there. We should go one day to school to check how we look like. Since I also was a good student, my parents and social environment wanted me to be either a lawyer, either a doctor. And I was very serious about being a doctor, but I remember somehow that time there was a requirement that before joining the university, you have to have some practical experience. And for that reason, at the age of 16 or 17, I went to work in a hospital. And they assigned me to surgery department, and I was cleaning everything. I was just cleaner. And I was cleaning everything, the dust and everything, and I kind of liked it because there were people there, they were asking me where to go, I was directing them, and that was nice job until something happened. And as I worked in surgery that day, the ambulance brought an old man, and he was doing some woodwork, and he was cutting wood with this machine, you know, that is moving very fast. Yes. I don't know how it's called. And his hand was cut, and they brought his hand in plastic bag. And then they were fixing this in the hospital, in the surgery department. And then I had to clean everything, all these oceans of blood, everything. And then I decided that I will not be a doctor, whatever my parents say.
But you know what I'm thinking now? That even I haven't chosen the doctor or lawyer, I'm still today semi-lawyer, semi-doctor on everyday basis. You need, you need to speak with people. Everyone has different situations. We need to solve both company-related matters. We need to help each other on personal issues. So I do feel that partly I completed my parents' wish.
Parents' wish, but also you are on your mission. And it's wonderful how it works, because if you have this kind of calling You want to be with people, you want to help them. Doesn't really matter what's your professional path, isn't it?
You are totally right. I think it's also my passion. I am people oriented. People are always around me. Doesn't matter, is it my friends? Is it my family? Is it at work? Is it my hobbies? I am always surrounded of people, and I'm happy about it.
And maybe also it has a bit of challenge and some dilemmas, because being at the top like you are now, sometimes you have to take decisions that hurt people.
Yes, it's challenging on the one hand. It's not easy. But on the other hand, when you truly believe on your values, when you do it with respect, when you have real dialogue, you can manage it in a good way. And I had tough decisions in my very, very young age as well. I was promoted to be a manager when I was still student. And all my unit employees were older than me by age. And of course, I am student. They have much bigger experience in all areas than me. And first for me it was challenge, of course, how I will manage. I don't know anything, etc., etc. All head was like full of different, more questions than answers, of course. But thinking back, I'm happy that at that time my managers noticed some of my, character and most probably willingness to lead. They promoted me, but at the same time they let me do my own way. And this my own way, this authentic way, with my values, with my truth, yes. I can say that in major cases I managed, and still I am getting messages from those people on Christmas Eve. Even our, ways were different.
Let's stay here a little bit. You say authentic way. So what's your authentic way, Ruta?
Authentic way for me, it's to have your own values, to live yourself, your own values, and be trustworthy. But also trust people. I think it's about integrity as well. As I said from the beginning, first to lead yourself.
For you, when you told this story from 7-year-old age with this music school, it's like natural. Leading yourself somehow comes natural to you, but not for many people. And I meet quite many people who have a bit of challenge in getting to know themselves and finding their own way and finding their own professional path. What you would advise to people who want to start from leading themselves?
We shouldn't think like it's not a stereotype, and my story, it also has the two sides. Yes, I was leading myself from the very, young age. On the other hand, it doesn't mean that I haven't had challenges, because I set expectations to myself higher and higher and higher. And it was not easy, to meet them as well. To tell to people what is the best way for them, it's difficult. There is no one recipe. But I think first you need to understand yourself. You need to reflect what do you like. But on the other hand, and my way as well, is to learn different things. Whether it's professional, academical, whether it's just my personal curiosity, but every time it brings you somewhere to the next. Also, not necessarily you like it, but this understanding that this is not for you, it's also good. So don't be afraid to try new things. And this is also my way of doing every day.
What was the craziest thing that you ever tried, Ruta?
Triathlon.
Okay, tell us.
Triathlon, it was 2 years ago.
Recently. Sounds very interesting.
Almost 50 years old lady decided to try triathlon. It's about swimming in the river. There is. It's about bicycle and it's about running. I am not a good swimmer at all. Yes, I bicycle. To run, I thought, okay, I'm still doing some sports. Running I will manage. But this triathlon, again, I got a lot of lessons from that. First, it's very important to know the rules. And there are so many rules, few pages of rules. All details matters.
You mean literally? You have to read
Literally,
few
yes,
pages of
yes.
rules?
It depends. When you're doing one, for example, if you are going by bike, your number should be on your back. When you are running, your number should be in front of you, etc., etc. Where you need to leave, where you can start, sit on your bicycle, all those details. And if you are not completing at least one, you are disqualified. So first, it's about rules. Second, about having strategy. When you do what, how, your shoes, how, because after swimming you need to put your, like everything you need to think about. And again, each detail matters on your strategy. Then you need to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, it's difficult even to start. And then I see a lot of young people who are doing this triathlon, not the first time. And then I thought, oh, Jesus.
Can you go back at this point?
On the one hand, of course, you can go back, but it's not about me.
Yeah.
And I completed and was so proud.
Where it happened? What was the location?
Location was in Vilnius. Yes, in Vilnius, the river was Neris. I was very happy and proud of myself that I still managed to overcome all my fears. And again, I proved to myself that many things, I can't tell everything. I don't know, I haven't tried many things. But it's possible. If you prepare mentally, physically, depends on the matter, but I wish to everyone to try new things.
And now I'm listening to you and I cannot believe that I'm speaking to CEO and chairwoman of the bank, because I can only imagine how busy you are at work, Ruta. And all of this, getting ready for triathlon at the age, as you said, like beautiful age, there is a kind of job. You have to read the rules, you have to strategize, have the strategy, believe in yourself, get ready. How it's possible?
By the way, I met also two of my colleagues in that triathlon. They were also in...
From the same bank or from the previous?
the same bank I was working. At that time I was not CEO, I'm CEO 6 months.
Okay.
2 years ago I was management board member, but still.
Still quite high.
Yes. Those colleagues were positively shocked
And
seeing me.
They didn't know that you are coming
you
together?
are registering and this is it. I came, they came, and we just met. Hello.
Oh my.
Yeah, but again, those reading the rules, it's also you need to clear your mind. You can't think about, numbers and your job 24/7. It's just impossible. You will not be a good CEO thinking 24/7. In the back of your head, of course, you need to keep everything, but still, you need to find something which brings you a bit to different perspective. This, let's say, trial of triathlon brought me not something good just for me that I proved to myself or I can learn, but it helps me on everyday actual basis at my work as well.
In which ways?
The same, in conversation with people, how you need to prepare sometimes, again, depends on matter, yes? How sometimes details matters. Sometimes you need to have a strategy and see a higher perspective. Today we have so many different generations working together. Different people have different hobbies. They like different things. And if you can speak with different people also on what matters to them. They feel that you are connected. Third, I would say well-being is today, I think, top 3 topics where all organizations are facing. And this, showing by example, showing that you can learn things at any age, that everything is possible. It also, motivates people to change something, to start thinking differently. So for me, it helps every day.
But why triathlon? There are some other options, I believe. Why this? What was your driver?
I learned bicycle, let's say I'm not professional, semi-professional. A few years ago, I'm cycling 100 kilometers, sometimes more. And then, to be honest, I was challenged by one friend saying that, okay, Ruta, we know you. You can do 100 kilometers, 200. But what next?
Come on, challenging Ruta, who is challenging herself already.
Exactly, so can you imagine?
I can imagine.
Yeah. And then I was thinking that I always wanted to swim. I can swim in the pool, in the lake, but the river, there is. But again, then I thought, everyone is swimming. Somehow I will swim. What helps me also questioning myself, what could be the worst situation? Okay, I will not complete. A bit shame. Oh, yes, but...
Nobody will know. You thought that nobody, until you met your colleagues.
Yeah. But again, I'm taking it as a learning point. It's not, straightforward defining my life, but that I can learn, and I think it is defining my life.
Triathlon also helps you to overcome some fears.
Yes, exactly.
What fears you have, or you had maybe until you completed triathlon?
I think everyone has fear to die. It's I think human. But in essence, I think my biggest fear is to be bored. I want to be in motion. I want to learn. I want to see different things, and whether it's in my job, whether it's in my personal life, whether it's with my friends, is it traveling, is it new places, some adventures like triathlon.
Where this energy is coming from? You need lots of energy for that.
I was thinking already some years ago, what helps me still to balance. Of course, it's not easy till now. And you can learn a lot of rules, everything. And most probably there is no recipe for everyone. But what works for me, it's still having some discipline. When you have some discipline on your, sports, on your reading, on something else, depends on person, then you free up your mind for other things. If you are very chaotic on everyday basis, then this chaos can bring you in even bigger chaos. So that works for me. And again, coming back to the same violin or bicycle, it's also some kind of discipline, both from my early age and still till now. On the other hand, I think it's very stereotypic thinking when people think that discipline is something that kills your creativity.
On the other side of discipline.
Exactly. But it's vice versa. When you have at least some discipline, you free up for creativity. When you don't have, you have, again, chaos. Both, like violin and bicycle, it's, always balancing between focus and perspective before work. Because in order to play good or bike good, you need to work. But on the other hand, it's freedom. Because then you can just go and then look, listen to birds, look what is happening around. If you don't have it, then it's difficult to see something more. So that works for me.
How does this discipline look in your life? How do you discipline yourself?
Again, there are something which I do on a frequent basis, which means that, of course, it's impossible with my schedule, with my traveling, etc., to be like on everyday basis. But if I feel that, I am losing my physical activities, I am putting back. If I cannot do 1 hour, I am going at least for a walk for 20 minutes. If I cannot just walk, okay, I am doing some listening and walk. So still putting a bit back on track. And, our lives have, few corners. It's about your physical health, it's about your mental health, it's about your soul as well. In banking, we also say that it's your financial health. So.
We will talk about that. We will talk about that in a moment. But you are saying this, and I imagine yourself on a bike. But bike for me is like a symbol because you are moving all the time. Bicycle and cycling has a meaning only when you move.
Yes.
And you are moving in your professional path, in your life, with your challenges, you are in a constant move.
Yeah, when I started bicycle, I haven't thought about it. But yes, it's a very nice symbol, I think.
I asked you to bring one thing to the podcast that represents you. So will you bring bicycle now from the corridor?
Yeah, to be honest, I think it's not a secret anymore. We talked about both bicycle and violin. I thought about both of them to bring here. Bicycle, it's too big, I think, for this room. But I brought my violin.
Can you play for us?
Now?
Let's try it.
We can try. Just remember that, again, from my childhood, as I decided myself to play. And then later on, when I was still a small girl and we had guests at our family home, and then parents asked me to play for the guests.
So now I'm like your parent. Ruta,
Yeah.
please, could you play for our CEO Pitstop people who are watching?
So for parents, I usually was saying no.
Do I have a chance, Ruta?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much.
That was about autumn, but I would wish the spring in everyone's hearts.
Ruta, thank you so much. You brought so much sunshine. It's not spring, it's summer here, full of love and experiences and discoveries now. So let's try to go back to our conversation somehow. It will be difficult to concentrate, I think, but let's try.
Let's try.
We do our best.
Yeah.
This episode carries a little extra calm, thanks to Vytautas Mineral Spa in Birštonas, Lithuania, a place to recharge, reconnect, and find the balance, something every leader needs. Ruta, when you are telling this, keeping the bar always high for yourself and challenging yourself and getting energy from this and maybe satisfaction and meaning, how it is for people around you? Do you also have high expectations to people who surround you at work and life in general?
To tell the truth, I am demanding. But
that's why I'm asking. And maybe in a very elegant way, but still to the point.
I am demanding in an elegant way, but at the same time, I am very supportive. People around me, they know that they can come into my office when they need me. They can ask any advice. They know that we can always discuss, and they can rely on me. I can rely on them. And most important, we as a team. Of course, there are sometimes situations that still you need to decide alone. There are, unfortunately, and this is your responsibility. But I think being demanding still brings, every time you a bit jumping higher. And of course, if you wouldn't be supportive, it would be a big challenge for the team, of course. But always, setting the goals or discussing other topics, I am asking, is it okay? Are we okay with the deadlines? Are we okay with the number? Are we okay with this initiative? I'm about more asking questions rather than telling.
Everything sounds so nice and I want to be in your team. But I believe that sometimes there might be situations when you ask, are you okay with the deadline? Are you okay with what we are discussing? Are you okay with the goal in general? Somebody can say no.
There are. And
what happens then? Somebody says, no, it's not okay for me. And you know that strategically for the business, this is critically essential deadline, but the team resists or something similar. Have you ever faced situations asking people these questions?
Sure. There are different situations. And again, depends. If we need to complete, for example, Euro should start in Lithuania 1st of January. There is no excuses. You need to deliver, yes? Your systems, everything. As an example that everyone understands, yes? So sometimes there are such tasks and you need just to prioritize. You need to ensure resources, which is my task to do that. But in some other cases where, it's more about whether we will have 2 months later or earlier, then maybe we can compromise. Depends. On the third hand, we are influenced by different macro environment, geopolitics, sometimes internal things. And again, most important to discuss, to understand all perspectives, to have arguments, and then to decide together. And what is also important that everyone in the room, when we decide, we go with the same message, that it's our decision. And sometimes I compromise as well. Or I see that I haven't thought about it, but this is why I have my team. And everyone has his or her perspectives. Something from risk, I am more, about doing more, doing better, of course, but still, we need to have and to make it in the best possible way.
When you tell this, it sounds very smooth and very friendly and very constructive, but sometimes there are challenges, even in the most cohesive teams. There are challenges and people tend to disagree, and the stronger people you hire to your team, the stronger opinions they have. And it takes extra effort from the leader to, take into account all what they are telling and find a solution that everybody leaves the room agreeing on what was discussed and on the solution. So
exactly.
Tell me a bit about this, the most challenging part, because the others, I think you can really manage.
You are very right. There are cases, and I had similar cases in my career, that you agree in the room. Kind of everyone agrees. But sometimes when people go to their teams, something happens.
Lost in translation.
Lost in translation, exactly. Something happens, and in some period of time they are coming with different message, or we cannot do, or we can do only differently, or why we need to do it at all. And then again, you need to bring the same people in the same room.
So you repeat the meeting?
Repeat, depends on situation or meeting, but again, repeat discussion still till the best understanding of everyone why we are doing it. And I think it's very important, especially for top managers, to be a sponsor of big projects. Because again, if people see that management is not interested into this or another project, or their communication is different, this project will fail.
How do you know, Ruta, when to let someone go?
It's a tricky part. And by the way, it was one of my mistakes in my professional life. When I had an employee who was, on the one hand, super professional, delivering the best results, but so toxic in a team.
Classical example.
Classical example. I was very young, and then I thought, but she's bringing so good result. And then at some point I understood that it's impossible already to move for us as a team. And then I decided that our professional relations should quit.
But have you tried? Have you tried to improve the situation or help a person understand what impact they make on the situation,
For
on
sure.
the team?
I can even tell you a bit in more details the situation.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's deep dive.
Yeah, let's deep dive. When we started in my previous organization, Baltic organization, from local to Baltic. Of course, on the first hand, it was so difficult for everyone to understand how matrix is working. It's one. And second, of course, that the countries were competing. Who is better? Whose idea is better? Who should learn from each other? Why? Etc. 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 And I'm talking about employee. She was always complaining on other two countries that everything we do, we should follow her country approach. And then, of course, we had many discussions, kind of agreed. Then I took another strategy. I gave to her Baltic responsibility. And then I thought she will need to deliver result on all three countries. And now she cannot tell that who is better, who is...
That was wise.
Yeah, that was wise. But still, person was so, toxic that couldn't overcome at any circumstances.
Now, from time perspective, what was happening there? What was happening in this person's head and heart?
To be honest, I met this person a few times after
you separated.
After we separated, yes. We talked on different topics. We haven't touched, specifically that, do you remember or why your behavior was this and that? But I was happy that she was telling how she changed her attitude, behavior, and even she changed from being in direct business to more analytical work. So in essence, she understood that for her, maybe it's better to work with numbers more as a solo player. And she found herself in this, and she's successful now.
And this happened after she was
after. But I know that she had another situation, again very similar, and most probably after those two situations, on the third one, she already learned.
This is a very nice example of what happens when people are forced to leave, and at this very moment when they get know that they will have to leave, they are very unhappy, and for some of them it's the end of the world. But on the other hand, time and life shows that there is something else waiting for you, and you shouldn't be stick to this opportunity because the world is full of opportunities.
Exactly, but again, when person's ego plays the highest note, then it happens like it happened in this example. If people's ego will be at a bit more balanced level, then of course all are good. Everyone can find his or her own place. But it's not easy for everyone to understand it.
But it's also a role of the manager, of the leader, of the CEO or CXO to help the organization, the team, and sometimes this person, because you give a chance, you talk, you give extra opportunities, you give extra roles to try, and some people learn at this point, because the other person maybe would take this opportunity, having Pan-Baltic responsibility, and embrace differences and connect these three organizations into one for the synergies, but not in this case. But eventually this separation should happen in order somebody to learn.
Exactly.
But this is also your role, and you are important part of this change.
Yeah, and I'm happy that today we have different programs. We have, assistant for one day, step into your colleague's shoes, that even every employee can go to any department, any position and learn. And this is not only for better understanding of company, which is one goal. Yes, that we are still working for one goal. We need to understand, we need to find efficiencies, we need to find the best way, etc., etc. But it's also to get some ideas on yourself, whether you are stuck or whether you want to change something, maybe you want to learn something, etc., etc. So it gives a broader view.
And you mentioned this example as a mistake. So what would you do differently now if you could go back?
I wouldn't wait for so long. I was still, giving one chance, another chance, tried one strategy, another strategy. On the one hand, for me, as a young manager, it was also a learning point. But now, knowing that, I could shorten the process now if it would happen again.
But maybe also for you, it was part of living your values, showing respect, trying to understand. You wanted to help somehow, so that was your way that time.
Also, yes. And
but now you also understand the consequences.
Exactly. And today the values haven't changed. I still want to help, but I will help if we separate as well, because then earlier she will understand what is happening with her.
And the best indicator of the quality of a relationship that time is that you can meet now, you can discuss, you can have coffee and have nice, sincere conversation after everything that happened.
Yes, this is what I'm proud of.
Any other mistakes that you experience in your professional life?
Of course, the different mistakes can happen smaller or bigger. But I think, again, in early age, I would say another mistake is that when you think that you can do many things alone, it would be faster. But alone you can run faster. But with a team,
or cycle.
You can, or cycle. But with a team, you can go far. So for me, it was also maybe not a mistake, but challenged, especially when I was, promoted to high-profile leadership positions. This delegation part, it's both that you already don't have those, 10 hands, but you need to deliver, higher goals. How to manage everything? Will I manage also not my professional life, but also my family, myself? What will happen? How to settle everything? That was a big challenge for me as well.
What happened back then? How did you survive this challenge?
When I reflected now, I understand that my strategy was and still is that at different stages of my career or overall my life, I prioritized different things. And those having not more than 3 priorities, pick 3, rule.
As simple as that.
As simple as that. Simple sounds, not so simple to execute on.
3 words or 3 lines.
Yes, otherwise you can't be like sometimes people are asking, tell us how you are managing being like CEO, having 3 children, everything, you still are going to concert or bicycle and shining, etc. It's impossible to be the best everywhere. Good enough, you can be in somewhere, but the best everywhere, it's impossible. And still you need to choose. When kids were very small, my focus was on kids and less on something else. Even I was reading books at night, and my friends were laughing at me. Why are you reading books at night? But that was my time with myself. And I prioritized it, not sleep. So again, my choice. But I think that conclusion out of all this is that you are such person or professional, or your life is in this stage of previous your decisions.
Everything is in your hands.
Everything is in your hands.
What are your 3 priorities now? If it's not a secret, of course.
It's not a very big secret, but I am in this role is new for me, 6 months only. So priority still is on my professional life to bring the bank to another level. We are progressing several past years very well, but now it's again the time when we need to make another step. So a lot of efforts in all meanings are going there. Next is not to lose myself in this big ocean. And third is my family and my friends, of course, who are also, my support team. When I need, I am support for them when they need.
How do you support your family and how they support you? How does it work for you?
One of my child is already adult. Twins are teenagers.
You have twins?
Yes.
Oh,
I
nice.
have twins. All are boys.
Rich mom.
Yes. So in different age of children, their support is different. Now they have a very strong sense of humor. They are challenging me almost on everything. Even now, I said that I'm going to CEO Pitstop. And they were asking, will you talk about more CEO or more about a woman CEO?
Okay, and what was your answer?
I said most probably on both. I don't know how Aušra will interview me and how our story will turn around. But from also those questions, I understand that when we are talking in the family, those topics, they also reflect on them. I am the only one woman in our family. We have a dog who is also he.
Male dog.
Male, yes. And on the other hand, I have 2 brothers. So I always was surrounded by men. In banking sector, today it's a bit different situation and it's changing, but still many years it was man business. So they are challenging me in any topic, and I need to have all answers. If I don't, I failed in their eyes.
But maybe it also helps you to stretch a little bit.
For sure.
And to be ready for these answers, but also from this question that they have asked, it's kind of they care, they are interested in what's going on, so what you are talking about, so it shows interest.
Exactly. And those challenges for me, as you said, stretching me, yes, and second, it lets me better to understand new generation as well, because in few years they will come, their generation will come and to start
to labor
work.
market.
Yes. And then I need to understand what is important for them.
What are the names of your 3 boys?
Domantas, Matas, and Benas.
You have a chance to say hi to them now.
Hi, guys.
Your mom is doing very well. You should be proud of her. She's amazing.
Thank you, Aušra. It's sometimes so strange to listen good words about you, because usually I am saying good words for everyone else.
But you deserve good words yourself as well. And I know how it is. You say you are surrounded with men, lots of men, including your dog. And maybe for women it's a bit easier to say what they feel, but men, they mainly show. And there are these 5 languages of love, so we just have to understand the language that is coming to us. And it will not always be words.
I agree. And in most of cases, it's not words. And what I also learned that it's more about even questions rather than statements. To ask, how do you feel? How was your day? It is a love.
Exactly.
Or where you are going. What will you be talking about today?
Exactly. That's the language of love. At least I would read it.
Yeah.
You are very much loved.
Thank you. Hope so, It's difficult to measure. You can most probably measure it more, when you reflect, when something happens, and sometimes, nothing should be said or nothing should be asked. But when something happens, you can also see on whom you can rely, who are your closest people. And I'm, usually laughing with my friends. I'm so happy that I have you. I know that I can call you anytime, at night, whenever I need. But I'm even more happy that I don't need to call you.
And they understand. I think
Yes,
they do understand.
But it's so good, good feeling to know that you have to whom. And this gives you also some kind of, peace in all meanings.
Do you have many true friends?
I have quite, I can't tell hundreds, it's impossible. But I have friends from different stages of my life. I have from my childhood, I have from my, school age, I have from university, I have from my previous companies I worked. I have friends even from my, bicycle community. And I'm so happy that I can still have new friends.
It sounds for me when you say that it's kind of a return on investment. You are investing your energy, your love, your values, your communication, your care, maybe your support, and it comes back to you, and it accumulates and it comes back.
Might be, of course, it is saying like you get what you give. It still should be some ecosystem, but on the other hand, I don't want, to make it, so simple and mathematical that I give this, I got that. Usually I'm doing it very naturally with my passion, taking care, sometimes just asking one question or something like that. Many times, like my friends told to me that I am a reliable person. They can rely on me if really something happens. In stress situations, I somehow, I can cry in a very sensitive situation like wedding. But if it's stressful situation, I am focused so much, I quickly have 3-4 different plans. and
you are a shoulder to lean on.
Yeah. So maybe that also gives people, a bit more comfort being with me, I think. On the same hand, I can be, going on adventures, still trying something.
Having fun,
and sometimes, people have stereotypes that when you are in a bank, you just talk only numbers. You are very, strict on everything, on deadlines, on goals. You don't have any other side of life, but then you wouldn't be a human, and you would never feel, fulfillment. At least it's for me.
Would you like to say something to your friends now?
I love you.
Oh, lots of love from Ruta, from CEO Pitstop.
And thank you that I have you.
These are very true moments of life. And for us being very busy, we get lots of satisfaction from what we do. And sometimes we forget people who are around us. What you are saying, Ruta, it very much resonates with me. Because sometimes we face challenging situations, and very much matters how we behave in these situations. And are we still able to take people with us when it's the most challenging? Are we still able to think about them? Are we still able to do things with respect, whatever happens? And when we do, so then it doesn't really matter how challenging the situations are, how challenging the decisions are. People will get us. People will get it.
I agree. And also what I have learned, that both in my, early career when I was talking about delegation, but also what bicycle gave me, that I recently was watching a documentary, Tour de France, and how all team is supporting the leader in order to all win. Because they understand if at least one is failing, full team is failing. If everyone supports each other, at the end of the day, they all are winning. And sometimes it is a leadership to support others. It is a leadership to ask for the help. So leadership has, I think, different colors inside, and it shines only in the case when you find those, touch points where is needed your help, when you need help yourself, when you need to take care of someone else, when you should ask for the help. Because other people have different perspective. Most might be that they have, better understanding of some particular topic. So you need to understand first, of course, to know yourself in order to, ask or take care of others.
Now I want to go back to these different kinds of health. Physical was number one, emotional, then you also mentioned spiritual health or mental health, and financial health. So how do you take care yourself of all these aspects of your life?
I think that some years already I am balancing them. But again, it took some time for me to, to understand that all corners are needed, and you need to take care of all corners. Automatically nothing will happen, and nobody will come and nobody will not do instead of yourself. It's like a hygiene. And most probably some stereotypes don't help us to take care of those health. For example, usually people think that money is bad topic to talk. It's yes and no. And more, I think it's good topic to talk, unless the money it's not the one and only goal in your life. But if you are talking about how to manage your finances, how to save for your retirement, how to save for your dreams, how to make businesses to achieve their goals, it's very meaningful conversations. And why some people are thinking like banking is boring. For me, it's not boring at all. And for me, it's vice versa. For me, it's so meaningful that every day I can touch to real people's life. Either they are buying a flat or house, or they need money for studies, or they are, learning how to invest, or they are building big milk manufacturer, or developing some technologies, etc., etc. So it's, it's about development of our economies.
When you are saying this now, your eyes are burning with the same brightness like you were talking about your hobbies and the other part of you. I'm impressed, Ruta.
Yeah, I'm happy that that I found the place that I love the area I'm, and it gives also meaning of my life. It gives me to feel like fulfillment of myself, that I can give something for others, that I can support some communities, that I can go, with financial literacy lectures both to, gymnasium or economic teachers or to university. It's different topics, but still. So I think it's meaningful for me, and most probably this is why I'm shining.
What's your next big challenge?
Let's be with this challenge for a while. Let's not rush. Let's see where life or myself I will bring me to something else. But now I want to fulfill this chapter in the best way I can, together with my team. In the bank, together with my family, with my friends, and talking this, actually, what I recognizing about myself, that in many cases, I don't have time, to celebrate or to make some stop. And when you ask now about, what is next challenge, so I wish to myself and to others, of course, not to rush into next challenge. A bit take a pause, reflect, and enjoy at least sometime. That is my next challenge, to enjoy.
Wow, my next big challenge is to enjoy it more.
Yes, to enjoy it more, to have time for enjoyment, not oh, fine, we achieved, and running again. Next, yes.
Since now we are in this meaning topic, being in the banking sector can be a very meaningful, but also being a leader, authentic leader, our own way can also be meaningful because we impact the other people's lives, not only in the market as a sector, but also in the closest environment at work. We make impact on our teams, on our leadership team and below, the way how we lead, the way how we show example, the way how we challenge people to get out of their comfort zone and learn more. Do you experience all this impact?
For sure, yes. And the leadership is not what to do or whether to achieve goals. That's for sure. The main thing for me, it's about how, and this is reflect on this impact. You can do different things, but it matters a lot how you do it, how you challenge, how you take care, how you separate or connect people. It's about values as well. And this is, I think, what people remember.
What you would advise, Ruta, to your 20-year-old self? This is my traditional question to all my guests.
On the one hand, I think I was brave enough. But at the same time, still in many cases, I was thinking, because braveness came after thinking. So first thinking, is it already right time? Am I ready for that? And inside, usually it was like, maybe still not yet. But then again, I put myself into those, situation or next chapters with a brave and, having some plan, of course, already, what I need to learn, what I need to do, how better to handle this, etc., etc. But now I would say that everything is doable if you have your support team. Of course, you need to do a lot yourself as well. But I like saying that, in all situations or when the big storm is coming, some people are building walls. Some people use the storm for generating energy. So my advice is be the one who generates energy and take the opportunities. Be brave.
I think you were such a brave girl, Ruta. Be even braver. Wow, that's nice. So thank you so much. Recently, you were recognized as among top 10 CEOs and number one in this sector for communication. And I found this on LinkedIn. Congratulations, first of all. I think very well deserved and very well done. And I don't know if you have time to read the comments, but there was one comment under this post that says, that's what happens when the human is behind each post. And human was in capital letters. Ruta, thank you so much for being human in capital letters in the CEO Pitstop.
Thank you, Aušra.
And maybe if we have a chance now to say something nice to Žiburys Gymnasium, so maybe we should use this opportunity. Our best regards to our all former colleagues and teachers and friends from Žiburys Gymnasium. We wish you all the best, lots of good students.
And you see that Žiburys is meeting even after 30 years.
In Birštonas Vytautas Minelos Pau for the Pitstop. Our best regards.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. There is much more to come.